good morning. It is Wednesday, folks, and you know what that means. That means it is House Tours Day. We got three incredibly amazing builds for you today. But before we get started, I do want to remind you that today is Wednesday. That means it's also scheduled maintenance day. It is due to hit the realms at 4 a.m. PDT, 1 p.m. CEST time. I think they said in one message that it was going to last approximately an hour. And then the other one, when you go to the forum thread that it links, it says about 40 minutes. So 40 minutes to an hour would be a good number to keep in mind. So yeah, I think that's really the main little announcement. I do want to remind again for those on NA region that there is a housing competition ongoing. It is being hosted by the Black Dagger Society. You can find that in the NA, the Entity PVE Realm Forum. It's pretty close to the top, I think. It's called Lifestyles of Nexus 5. Entries for that close on October 15th. So you have until then to submit your plot. As far as I could tell, there's no specific theme that they're going for, but there are certain rules that you might want to check out. Just read all of the details as far as how many plots you're allowed to submit. I think it's a limit of 2. And that kind of thing. I don't know if there's any stipulations as to if you've won previously with that plot, if you're allowed to enter again. I have no idea. I didn't read it totally word for word. So for those of you that are on NA side, be sure and check that out if you feel like your home has a chance. From what I understand, they're trying to work on obtaining some WildStar swag directly from Carbine. I don't know the details on that. I don't even know if they know yet. It's one of those things that it takes a little bit, there's some gaps in communication as far as who contacts who and who has the information and all of that stuff. So hopefully they have good relations with Carbine and are able to work out some kind of a situation where they can provide a good amount of physical swag, including probably t-shirts and plushies and stuff. Don't quote me on that, but I'd assume that it will include something along those lines that they will be able to divvy up among the winners. Good morning, Bones and Poi. Yes, we are on Bones's plot. We're going to tour Lauren's place first because Bones, of course, has some sewing obligations to do. So we want to get that sorted. And I honestly don't know how long it's going to take me. I have a long list of notes that I wrote up yesterday evening after a quick little pre-tour that Bones was kind enough to give me so that I can kind of have some information on hand. Bones will also be available during the tour in case I identify any objects or just can't figure out what's being used. But so yeah, just another quick reminder, we do have maintenance coming up. So if you are watching live and then decide to go play and suddenly the realms go down, that would be why, because we have the regular Wednesday maintenance. Again, it's only supposed to last about an hour, so that's something good. Okay, so a little bit of background about this plot. It's called New Haven. It is on Lauren Bacall. It's inspired by Bones watching a lot of a noir film. and then with a little Dark City thrown in. I don't know what Dark City is. I Googled it. I guess it's another kind of movie story kind of thing. It's a particular look, dark, gloomy, I guess a little bit, not slummy, I guess, but, downtrodden kind of look, is what I gathered. And then with various bits and bobs thrown in. So to start, we've got the newspaper stand here. Um, from what I gather, this ate up a lot of decor count, which will account for some lack of detail in other places. I assume, as with many other builders, if ever Carbine decides to up the limit to the items that we are allowed to place on the plot, or perhaps allow us to modify, or more specifically, control where we put that full 5,000 rather than having it equally split 2,500 in, 2,500 out. If they ever allow us to increase in any way the outside, I gather Bones and many others would be adding extra details, things that they weren't able to do, that it was just simply due to constraints on decor. So this plot is actually maxed out on the exterior. I think there's still some room for placement on the interior, which may or may not come as ideas pop into Bones's head. But yeah, let me just take a look at that. You can see it. I'll show it again. It'll be better visible in a different location. But this is this building here, this tall one, looks like it's got the little planet up there. It always reminded me of the Daily Planet, and apparently that's what inspired it from Superman, so that'll look familiar to some. But first we're going to start with the newsstand. Like I said, it ate up a lot of decor. Bones said it was very tedious and frustrating to place all of the little magazines, which are basically travel posters, in these little racks. You can see it looks like the Protostar staircase for all of the magazine racks. We can get a shot. Kind of hard to get a good angle in there. Trying to show all of the detail. I'm going to just step onto the rack there. This is supposed to be the cigarette and lighter sales here. So they've got like their cigarette packs, which appear to be made out of uh, cardboard boxes, the bottoms that you see. It looks like a book being used as the little band there. Maybe it's actually the lighter that I'm looking at, and these are the cigarettes, or vice versa. I think these are the cigarettes, and these are here are the lighters. The lighters look to be like a couple of utility crates smashed together, and then a dome for the little switcher thing. But I thought that was really cute. It looks like the back, or I should say the bottom of the tray, is a travel poster, and then they're using 2x4s, and then that fireworks crate topper there. A lot of little variety of snacks. I mean, when you go to one of these little little nightstands, be it a magazine, newspaper stand, whatever, they have little candy treats that you would pick up. They're typically like more pricey than if you got it at the grocery store or something. But these are, again, I mentioned that I only got one of these pumpkin candy bowls last year. I'm going to try and get myself some of the others. But you can see they're using this as like little candy jars. You've got like, I presume, like lollipops. Those are basically the fire crackers from the fireworks set. We've got some, I call them marshmallows on a stick, but it could be like maybe rock candy of some sort, some other strange lollipops. It's just the ice rock blocks with the thorny logs inserted there. You can see there's a refrigerator in the back with some drinks and such food and bits. From what I understand, it was a frost, frost lantern in the fridge for the lighting. It's basically just glass panels, curved glass here. A lot of Chua inspired materials. You see decking pieces for parts of it. You can see they're using a travel mat for the matting on the floor. The tray again is kind of matched to the cigarette tray, just without the little label. There's the dartboard there, some darts and a knife, a little bit of storage up above. The cabinet is made out of metal-edged blocks. Again, these shelvings here are decking pieces. Hey Kruja, welcome back. I'm glad you could join us. Yeah, there is an incredibly large amount of travel posters. It just shows how versatile that item is. It's one of my favorite, not just for the decorations. In fact, I typically don't use them in this way where you see the covers. Usually it's the back. I use them for cabinetry and everything. But you can see that they've used, looks like some here. Let's see. A glass pane, a little bit of curved chua again. This part here, if you're wondering what that wood is, that's just the trim of the exile walls that's part of this building here. This here is the elevator to the train, which you'll notice there's a track that runs above all the way around to the back somewhere, I think. I don't know if it was intended that that be extended. Again, it's one of those things that it was an idea and they fleshed it out as best they could with the current decor limitations. But with all of the detail that you'll see other places, you understand why it might not be as prevalent as probably it's probably something that they wouldn't mind having going all over the place, in my opinion. But that's what these are. It's just metal dividers being used as the elevator doors, and you'll see these in other places using as the same. They kind of follow that theme, and then using a dome or a cylinder as the little indicator bit up top. You'll see that they took the time to box in this area for the entrance. Look at all the stepping stones for that. You're looking for some kind of a stone wall, and you don't want to use like the Draken fencing since it has the skulls and stuff in it. This is a good alternative. It's more items, obviously, but oh, did you use it for a Batmobile? Well, that sounds pretty fun. If it's the one I'm thinking of, I've seen a few people make some Batmobiles. Um, yeah, Kuja, you're a builder after my own heart, enjoying the building cheaply kind of bit. We'll come back to that shop. We're going to try and go in the order that uh, Bones toured this for me. So here's some of the faux buildings, and most of the buildings on this plot are indeed faux. There are a few that you can go in, but they're only like partially decorated in that they just kind of give a hint as to the use of the building. So you can see, again, if you're into building like little cities, towns, villages, this is a great plot to come for ideas for structure materials and how you would shape your buildings. Not everything has to be just little squares and rectangles. Like this one has a slanted roof on the front. This one here has some windows. Now these are the new ProtoStar windows that you can get off of the housing vendor, and they've modified it by inserting travel posters to make it look like there's shades on it, and this one's slightly open. Decking piece for this roof, granite walls here, Chua walls here, and then the roof for it is one of those corrugated containers with the spaceship window for the door. I swear, a lot of people don't use that as a window. They always use it as a door. It's just kind of amusing to me. This little apartment building is made out of Exile walls. The door here is the bottom of the fireworks crate. Again, if you weren't around for Starfall, you kind of missed out on a lot of fun building materials, the fireworks, the individual ones, the animated ones, and then the crate itself. Just mark it on your calendar for next year for Starfall, because that was a really big boost. It had a lot of nice vibrant colors, and of course this is very handy in making trays, doors, little tables, all sorts of things. Okay, over here we have a little shop. This was originally meant to be a ruined shop. I think they were planning on like having broken glass and a lot of debris and things. But again, due to decor limit restrictions, they modified that idea to just be a closed shop. So you have boarded window, the window with a decking piece on it. I think this is one of the new pipe pieces from the Palavar Point Red Moon Terror thing. That's what it looks like to me. It could be something else, but it sort of looks like that. You can see they've made the door out of metal-edged 2x4s. The handle there is a Chua cup, and then they've added a little keyhole window for the lock. Layered glass for this beautiful little emblem above the door. Curved glass for there. Looks like hover part pieces for the curved half moon there, and then just 2x4s kind of strewn to make it look like, well, either they've closed up shop or it's broken down a little bit. Oh, is it Osun? Okay. This one here. Again, lots of different materials. I mean, there's hover park, there's Oran walls, there's curved Oran walls, there's granite floors, Cassian floors, Draken floors. There's like every type of floor there. Now, if you're wondering what's being used for this darkness in the back to kind of make it look like it continues on, that is in fact the cellar entrance. It's on its side, and they've just kind of covered it up with various pieces so that you don't really fully recognize what it is. You can kind of see the material here a little bit, I think. Not a whole lot. Very neatly done. Hey Faye, good morning. And Cheeky too. Everybody's creeping in. So over here we have, I don't know what they call this, the charming corner. I guess this is, I don't know, kind of a questionable little spot. Again, this is that Protostar window, the one they had covered up earlier. This is what it looks like, just standalone as it is. This is the local hotel or motel. I guess it's hotel. Mostly Draken walls for all of this. That metal trim is the end of one. This is one large one, and then layered glass to get this lovely design. It really looks dated, like King Kong time. Um, and then again up here, you can see the curved glass for the little awning for the entrance. And this is one of those buildings that it's partially open, but the rest is, basically faux. So you have the check-in here. It's mostly Exile archway and a bit of floors for some of it. It looks like uh, the investigator's desk here. You can see, I'm trying to get my camera to zoom out so you can see, like this is a metal edged block here. Over there against the wall, you can see the mailbox area where people would, come into the desk and say, hey, do you have any messages for me? And that would be here. That's mostly, it looks like Excel floors, just stacked together. The little, excuse me, bulletin board is just a Draken floor with the notes attached. But I really like this bit here. I can picture a lot of people using that for other things than just the mail system. And then a little picnic table here for that shelf. Over here we have, I believe this is the crew, like the maintenance room, I want to say. Yeah, staff entrance, I think is what this is supposed to be. Either that or it's the bathrooms, one of the two. Maybe this is the staff entrance. These are elevators, though, up to the above floors, and then you have the lounge here. You can see how the wind is affecting even the plants. Really windy in here. And yes, the rain is coming inside the buildings. That's just part of what you have to deal with when you're doing custom built homes with a weather effect. This is true for if it's snow, if you use that Eldon stuff that's got the little twinklies in it, the night sky that has the little wisps that appear now and then. Any kind of weather effect, be it the wind, the rain, snow, whatever, dust. If you're building a custom house, there's no way to block that. So it's going to be raining in the house, in the buildings. One thing of note is the little suitcase here, just made out of a metal edged block with a, looks like a chua pillar for the handle. Briefcase, a suitcase, it could be a piece of luggage if you want, for someone that's waiting for their room to be ready, that kind of thing. There's our lovely host. Okay, so next is yeah, we'll go back towards the front. Let's slow down here. And that brings us to this empty shop. I wouldn't doubt that if the decor allowed it, I'm sure they would dress these shops up a little differently. Instead of clothes, they would probably add it being like a working shop. But you can see there's, again, a lot of different materials. There's Exile walls, the granite floors, decking pieces for some of the shelving, lots of different cardboard boxes and crates. The countertop here is hover part pieces. You see a little bit of the stuff sticking out. This little display, I guess it was a food shop. Maybe this was a a creature that was fresh when they put it in, and it's just kind of gone to bone since then. Or maybe it's a relics type of shop. I don't know. I love the entranceway though, with the layered glass forming this little design. Two pillars for the beams. Yeah, I think a lot of us would be that way, Kruja. I know a few builders that have actually maxed the interior as well, but not many of us do that. This is another little faux residence here, using again the fireworks crate for the door, and they have a trying to get a good shot of that water tower up above, and it apparently is leaking a bit. You see it right there. So not a good thing for the person that lives in the building. Let's see. This way we go over here. Again, I love these little faux bits, like the little alleyways have little burning trash cans. I noticed they actually made this one themselves. It's just one of those, I think it's a Falcon fire pit or some sort, stuck into a tube, a hollow tube, and it looks like a little burning trash can, which is good. We actually have those items in the open world, but they aren't usable decor yet. This door is a metal-edged block, and then they just added the awning. Maybe he's a food shop keeper or something. It's got a lot of drinks and foods here. A little questionable having that chicken outside. This little vehicle here, this is the first vehicle that Bones ever built. And from what I gather, it was pre-Katia. So before Katia's famous builder add-on came out, and we had the privilege of doing a lot of the quick linking and stuff, Bones attempted this lovely little vehicle. I don't know if it's like a Jeep, kind of a truck, or a mix in between, but I love it. My first one was, I think, a train that had like plates for tires, so this is much more impressive. Um, you can see the railings on the side of the bed are decking railings with a decking piece for the bed itself. Red lanterns for the backlights, curved Chua wall for the tire guards, or whatever you want to call them. Barrels for not only the axle underneath here, but also the front end where the engine would be. The headlights are Drake and cauldrons with the orange orin windows inserted. The steering wheel is a plate, metal plate with the Chua cup inserted in the center. And then the dashboard is just a 2x4. The gear shift, of course, is a lever. But how adorbs is that? I'm definitely going to have to give us a vehicle challenge and challenge you guys to come up with something new, as opposed to what you've already done. Maybe soon. This part here is just the metal crates, if you're wondering. But it's to go along with the mining fab kit here. And they are just using it for like RP purposes. This is the main source of income for the plot. The city is the mining facility here. So you can see they got all different little parts, explosives to uncover more goodies, a little card game in the back for those slacking workers. A great place for the cargo lifter thingy, whatever it's, cargo stacker, I think is what it's called. If you're wondering how to get a hold of this, it's one of the daily login rewards. I don't remember what day exactly, but it's in there, I promise. Once you get it, it unlocks on the housing vendor for that character and you can purchase more. So it's not just a single kind of thing. Okay, so moving on. I think we went this way to the construction site. This is where they're working on finishing up a building. So there's lots of bricks and tools, cement bags of some sort, things like that. This is an office residential building. Let me see if I can get a better shot of that from over here. There we go. You can see it's like a two-tower thing. It's got the Draken statues as like gargoyles on the corners. It's mostly Draken walls and Cassian pillars for the building itself. Again, has that nice little curved awning. This time it's a Chua curved wall. And it too has a little bit of a check-in. The caretaker, the guy that kind of does the maintenance around the building, this is where you'd come and talk to him. Just a pane of glass with a red moon vent for the little speaker part. And then just a little sliver opening for if you need to exchange some keys or papers or whatever. Over here is the mail boxes. You can see it looks like just several Chua pillars lined up. And then it looks like the edges of them just poking out enough where you can see, you know, they're upright. It's not the ends flat on, but just sideways. And then using Chua walls at a slant to make the little like little flap where you would like lift it up and get your mail, that kind of thing. Maybe that, or maybe it's the name tags. It could work for either. But this is the little mailboxes for the residents. Yeah, I have characters on NA. When we do the CBDC, that's open to both factions, both regions. It's just the house tours that I kind of restrict to EU side for the moment. So here's another faux door. This one's a little different. I'm not quite sure what's being used as this. It looks like the end of a pillar, a wooden pillar, but I really honestly don't know. Even these look like pillar parts. What is this? What's this door? Excuse me. Yeah, Bones keeps saying this would have been fleshed out more. This would have been obviously it would have. Again, lots of details that most of us would like to add. We just don't have the space. Just kind of waiting to hear what this part is. It looks like pillars, just different types of pillars. Maybe a little 2x4s on the trimming. We'll move on. Wait for Bones to tell us what that was. You see a nice shot of the exterior from the window here. Metal edge cubes. Is that what that was? Well, it sure didn't look like. Probably because it's so enlarged. Again, another shot. Oh, okay, I can see it a little better here. Maybe it was the light. Hammer for the handle here. 2x4s, and then one giant metal edged block. Oh, okay, I see. You've got parts of the metal edged bits covered up with the 2x4s. I think that's what threw me off. So this is the private quarters and office of the character for this plot, Lauren Bacall. Bone said that Lauren is somewhat like a private investigator, or that's what they envision the character being like. So this is where someone will come and say, hey, I have something missing or whatever. And some of you may recognize some of these pieces. We'll start in the back in the bedroom. Again, a nice shot of part of the exterior through the windows. Another faux door using the fireworks crate and the Chua cup. The countertop here is just Exile walls with a little bit of goodies thrown in, like the inserted red lantern for lighting. The little cabinetry here is a metal-edged block with, I believe it's the magnetized containers, 3 of them there for the different drawers. So this is a cute way of making a cabinet, a dresser type of thing. The Venetian blinds are stairs, and then this one they've just used metal edged 2x4s and then kind of broken them up as if they're kind of in dishevelment. The antique radio, this again, this is probably something some of you remember. This was part of the CBDC challenge where we enlisted folks to make appliances for their home, which could include radios and things. And this is an antique radio. It's an Exile dome set inside an Orin style shelf with a Chua cup on top and a detonator inserted into that for the antenna, a Chua cup for the knob, and then it's got some a clump of wires hanging out. Very cute. The same thing we saw in the bedroom with the dresser. This becomes then a filing cabinet. Lots of those magnetized containers. Here we have the coffee machine, espresso machine. You can see there's like the vent tank here, a silver keg. This is a file. I think it's the short one. A hammer for the little spout control. Oh, are the blinds completely metal edged? Oh, well, that's so many pieces, Bones. You could have saved yourself some by using the stairs. I would have done that. I understand why you would have used just the metal edged 2x4s in the places where you want it broken, but that's a lot of pieces. It's lovely though. Very lovely. I have that crookedness. I forget what the bottom of this was. I know Bones told us last time, but I just don't remember. And then that's a metal plate and a red moon vent there for the drain. Curved tube for the rest of the spout. Yeah, but it's detail like that when you get into it that you hate to compromise because it just looks really awesome. So yeah, I sympathize. You would want, how much more decor do you think you'd want? Oh, is that a silver pot? All right, silver pot for that. What do you think? Another 500? Another 1,000? Is that what you would need? I mean, keep in mind, we used to have a total limit of 300, and we worked with that. So Hey, Sana, or Cowboy, or Sana Cowboy, however you want to say it. Okay, so the next part is, let's see, got the office. The local park is up next. And of course, that is mainly the garden fab kit that is being used for that. But the garden itself is encased in Galeras stone walls with a lot of moss overgrowth there to kind of indicate that it's a little bit neglected, a little run down. They've added some things. This is, again, this little grassy hill is overgrowth just layered up together. Added some shrooms. Somebody's kind of uh, making this their home even. Again, it's one way to kind of give existing fab kits a little bit of a purpose, and they don't look so out of place if you find a way to kind of incorporate them into the build that you have. Let's see. This alleyway here, I'm going to mention, it's one of those things that Bones would have loved to have given more detail as far as dirty it up. You see here, there's just a little few crates and bags, but I'm sure they would have loved to have added more trash and just make it more grimy, I guess. But again, decor limit, so so fun. Yeah, Kruja, I think from what I understand, the limit of the 2,500 outside and folks wanting to like have more control over the overall, being able to just move the if they want to take that 5,000 and say give 3,000 to outside and 2,000 in, or 1,000 in and 4,000 out. I think it has more to do with the rendering issues. Already we have folks that have the 2,500 in and out both maxed, and when someone comes to their plot, if their computer can't handle it, it crashes them. And I think that's what Carbine has been trying to avoid for the majority of us. Well, a lot of us don't have that problem. There are some that do, and I think they fear that if they upped the limits, um, without having the capacity to kind of maybe optimize it better than they have it, that it would crash more people and that would cause issues. So here's another faux type of building. You'll see pillars made out of, I should say columns made out of the Draken pillars. Um, this is the local theater. Um, if I get quiet, I'm trying to keep up with the chat. It's kind of moving along, so I apologize if I go quiet. So here's the theater entrance where you would purchase your tickets. The little register here is basically just a control lever with a tablet computer for that part. Can't seem to go inside there with the camera, but you can see this is like a 2x4 for the countertop here. It looks like the bottoms of the well, this looks like those medical tables. Now remember, if you're using the medical tables, there's two different ones on the housing vendor. They're identical in appearance, but one is like 40 silver more expensive than the other. So make sure you buy the cheaper one. I don't remember the name exactly. It's either the sterile medical table or just the medical table. I don't remember which. For the handles, it's just the travel posters on there. You see, notice a lot of the lighting is my favorite. It's the orange sconce. It's a very soft glow. It's not real harsh, um, uh, but it has a pretty big area effect. I like those lights. Of course, they've got the little advertised current movie up. Yeah, I don't think the bones would work really well with this one. This is another, um, I don't know if it's supposed to be just a residence building or what, but I love this part here, the windows. That's basically, I think Bone said it was 15 curved glass for each one, and it's just been spaced so that you see the lines. Just look at that. Yes, there's a little bit of flickering because of the directly overlapping way it affects the rendering, but isn't that awesome? It just looks so, I love that part. I don't know why. The door itself is suitcases just layered up, and then it's got one of those metal floor grates there. But I love this part. It even looks like it's lit up, even though it probably doesn't have any lighting at all. Because as you layer that glass up, it gets brighter and brighter. But I love the way that's laid out. I imagine that would have been a frustrating thing to try and layer up too. Okay, so next is a messy alley in the back. And it's one of those things I think Bones would have loved to do a lot more of, just to kind of, have some hobo bedding here and there and slums and everything, but it just didn't work out that way. Here we have the local diner. I imagine if we ever got some kind of lettering decor, especially like neon pieces, like just a strip or a curve that we can make our own letters, I wouldn't doubt Bones would probably opt to actually give this diner a name. But I love the setup of it. You have the Marauder uh, graded shelf for the sign, and then you have the spotlights just kind of lighting it up. And you can imagine it's either maybe one of the letters isn't working properly or it blinks a little bit or something. Um, Curved walls for the dome top and another dome on the ends to kind of block it together. Um, Granite floors for both the roofing and the flooring inside. Oran walls for the outer bits. Of course, lots of glass for the booths. It looks like Exile walls. It's hard to see the coloring. It could be something different. I imagine it's red. Looks like Exile walls, two of them just kind of angled together with the Chua pillows in for the seats, for the benches. Look at this table, the countertop here. Lots of Exile triangle pieces to make that little zigzag there. Here, this was part of the CBDC challenge that we did concerning foods. So we have an assortment of rock cakes, basically snow-covered stones, and like this one looks like a dome with a little snow clump on top. So you've got this little, uh, I don't know what you call it, little container that has a sliding door, and the handle there, you can see it's a chewa cup, and they would just lift it up and pull out a little goodie for you to eat on. Same way with the cakes up here. I love this one in particular because it has a slice missing, which is always so difficult to kind of portray. But it looks like a red stool for the little decoration in the center with hover part pieces for the chocolate interior, and then the cornerstone ice rock blocks for the snowy frosting exterior part. And of course, it's just domes and curved glass, and then square framed glass pieces for the whole display there. I love that. But I do know for a fact if Bones had had the decor limit, there would be a jukebox in the corner here. Yeah, everything is leaking here. That's just part of the give and take when it comes to custom building. If you're going to have some kind of a weather effect, it's inevitable that it's going to show. So this is the local dump. Again, let me just turn that off. It's a fab kit, but they've incorporated it into the build, so they've added on a little workers booth. This is where the garbage men would come, take a break, grab a snack, read a magazine, take a smoke, whatever they got to do. I like the little control box here. It's actually part of the fencing, but it makes it look like this little control here. The doggies, it's kind of funny because I think both of them are supposed to be this size, and if you ever have trouble with your NPCs, especially these Osun ones that come in rather large and you try to shrink them down a bit, or if you're using your NPCs as like little figurines, for instance, they have a tendency to resize themselves. I don't know why or what causes it, but it's kind of funny. So I don't know if it's supposed to be a mommy and baby scenario or if it's supposed to be two small ones. But these are like the guard dogs of the dump. They have their little pet houses here, and you can see their bones for leftover munchies. Sign on the wall. Which one? Sign on the wall.
Challenge begins.
Ugh. Dang. Where did I miss the sign? Sign. I don't know about the sign. Where? Oh, right. Are you talking about the billboard way up at the top? Yeah, that's advertisement for the newsstand at the very entrance. You can see the cigarettes, the little packs, and the little sign. It's a little billboard advertising the newsstand up front. Very fun. Love those little bits. Anyway, back to the dump. We've got this pile of messy, toxic goo. You can see there's lots of smoke effects. Some of that is from, I assume, the smoke decor pack that you can get. Comes with a variety of colors. I think they come in like browns and blacks and whites and things. But also extensive use of the toxic uh, barrels. And one thing that Bones discovered when decorating this particular little spot was that no matter what position that you place the barrels in, the toxic fumes will always go straight up. So it doesn't matter if it's upside down, on its side, a little to the side, you know, leaning, it's always going to be straight up. So that can pose some fun things for folks that are looking for a particular look. Maybe they want the smoke, but they don't want the bubbling goo. I don't have my sound up. Yeah, they have that bubbling sound, kind of like the witch's cauldron, the brew. Um, Here you can see there is a little drain up above, and it pours straight down into this little drain. Again, there's sandbags and things being used for dirt. There's a lot of mushrooms, little bits of grass. This is a red moon vent. You'll also notice the little, it's one of those protostar windows, but it looks like there's like a flap in front. I don't know if it's like a vent kind of thing going on or what. Also, you can see lots of those corrugated containers, that kind of thing for there. Over here we have a bit of the slummier apartments. Notice all of the, trying to start, the barred windows and things as in earlier. Um, Again, these are those protostar windows, but Bones has opted to cover them up with blinds, but left one slightly open so you can see that there is some life in there somewhere. Again, the spaceship window for the door. This one is a little floaty here, but it's a dome for the little marker up top. One thing I do want to point out is the cage for the kiddos. Uh, Apparently this is something that Bones remembered from like World War II, where they had like a cage on the window so that the kids could play in relative safety. So that's supposed to be a nod to that kind of thing. So they're not in such a good neighborhood, so they want their kids to get some fresh air, but they put them in a little cage thing, kind of protect them. Oh, okay, so this little flap would move up. All right, so like a hinged kind of, uh, I want to say binders, but that's not it. I can't think of the word. Yeah, it could work for the AC as well. Maybe if you blocked it in a little bit better, I think, than leaving it like a cage. But yeah, it could work as air conditioning. Um, it could work as a balcony even, if you could make something similar but without the top. Much creepier than that. Yeah, that's true. So you come to the back here, and we come into, again, little slummier part. There's a lot of laundry lines, barred up windows. You can see where the little tram up above ends over here. Again, little puffs of green gas indicating that it's maybe not the best place to kind of stand around. Laundry lines. That brings us to the, what did you call it? The local boozer. This is another fab kit that they've just kind of boxed in. You can see some of the bits, like the corrugated containers from the outside. It's just kind of built in. And then next door is the car garage, repair, whatever you want to call it. So they've, again, this is the crafting station fab kit, but they've added in some things. You see, you have some tables, tires, the fuel pumps, a little lift here for when your car comes in for repair. I love the bric-a-brac here, kind of like the tree kind of busted through or something, and they just kind of bordered around it. So before we go into the, gosh dang it, starting that thing, I wanted to get another good shot of that building here. This is the one that was inspired by the Daily Planet from Superman. You have a lightning strike hitting the globe. What is that? A couple of domes. You got some spotlights showing on it, and then what is that? Metal planks for the little Saturn ring kind of things. The building itself looks to be mostly Draken pillars with a little bit of Draken walls on the bottom. Like it's big skyscraper in the middle of the plot. Domes and metal planks. So you can see kind of peek inside. You can see the office here. See how they blocked off the door. They've got the awning and the corrugated, not the corrugated, the graded floor panel. And you can see there's like a staircase there. I think that's one of the landing pads. But then you can see like all of their, maybe it's their headline covers or something. Got a little waiting area there, and then the receptionist desk where she would say, yes, you have an appointment with the head honcho, and then these would be the elevator doors going up to the rest of the building. Ugh, quit starting that, silly. I hate those auto start ones. Just taking a look at more of the faux buildings here. You can see there's some posters here. This is the little door. Little vent. Notice it's got a little bit of smoky look to it. It looks to be the one of the hovering medical cots. It's got that little glow on the bottom causing that. And of course, don't forget the little tram that goes all along this side over here, and it ends where we showed earlier. That's all metal planks. There's hanging wires. I think there's some sparking wires here and there. Metal platforms, and of course the Cassian pillars to kind of be the supports of the little tram or track or whatever. That garbage thing is probably going to start up again. You can see here they're using a couple of the what do you call it, cellar entrances for the exit, and I think the same is true of the other side. I want to say, was there not a way to get up there to have a better look at those? I can't remember. Was it the Dominion staircase for that office building? Okay. I can't find. I thought you had put in a way to get up to it, and I don't see that. Oops. I'm sure that's very annoying for those got their volume up. I like this building too. Those are good for the really lit up buildings. It's just those metal dividers. Yeah, you can see like there's chains and lights and just all the little track bits. No, there isn't. Well, phooey. So we'll go into the bunker house. The bunker house is hidden inside the side of this little skyscraper here. Basically, it's covered with the cellar entrance, and if you get close enough, the little interactable button should pop up so that you can enter the speakeasy, which is, I believe, is the latest addition to this particular plot. It's really got that noir classic look. You're just waiting for the gangsters with the white, coat to come out and have the little Jimmy gun. That's what it reminds me of. It maybe has nothing to do with that, but that's what it reminds me of. I like the little uh, couch. It's just two of these smashed together to make one. For the dividers for the booths and such, those are the new exotic decor. Those are those little lit up dividers, but they've added on to it with not Draken, granite pillars for supports, and then 2x4s for the bottoms, and then top that with two pillows for these lovely benches. The tables are cylinders with travel posters on top. And you can see, just get real rude and walk all over the furniture here. Like this is a tray of shot glasses. It's basically one of those round wooden tables, just lower just enough so you don't see the legs. It looks like a little, almost like a lazy Susan, but I think it's supposed to be like a tray. Over here we have the bathrooms, the doorways to them. Again, a lot of this decor is some of that exotic decor, the vase, the tables. These here, the doors, it matches really well, but those are actually the ornate chests, I think, or I can't remember what it's called. Dressers, maybe. Again, with the little tray delivering the drinks. Over here, you can see it looks like had a little bit of a drinking contest with some shot glasses and spilt some of the liquid out. The tray's on the floor here. A little bit of gambling going on, and we'll come out there later. Ornate standing chest, that's it. Thank you, Kruja. Here we have the bar. Here we have an NPC. That's one of the, what's he called? Ostentatious, I think. So again, he's got some of the trays ready for the waiters to come and pick it up. It's funny because the trays, again, are being used as the tables here. So we have the stage area. This is where the performer would come out, do a little song and dance kind of thing. Very nicely lit up, reflecting the chairs. Notice the fan chandelier type things. Those are the new Red Moon Terror fans, lamp thingies. I don't know what the names of them are. They come from the Cash Shop bundle, I think. Little decor pack. Red Moon bar set, I think is what it was. Here are the live performers area. You know, the musical accompaniment to whoever happens to be on stage over there. Maybe they're doing like a little catwalk kind of fashion show, and then you got your singer here at this very nifty little microphone. Looks like one of those old ones with the little thing on the end. It's basically, I believe they said it was a Chua cup on top of chains, several of them together, and then one of the heat rod Chua fireplaces upside down on that. Chua cups down here as well, and then I think one of the silver kegs underneath. The piano, some of you may recognize it. This is one of Flower's pianos. Bones won this during our 50th House Tours episode. I gave away several copies of this, among other things, and Bones finally raised enough renown to afford to be able to build it. And doesn't it look lovely? It fits perfectly in this particular theme. Flower did an amazing job. They actually have, this is an NA player, Flower Riverside, I think is the full name. They actually have a piano shop where you can come to their plot, check out all of the different types of pianos they have, and you can buy it through, in-game monies. I forget how many plat per piano it is. I think it depends on the pieces that they used, how long it might have taken them to design it, that kind of thing. But just an amazing thing. It's mostly 2x4s. There's some ornate pillars. There's a Hugel portrait. Um, the expensive part was the Oren bed. I think that's like 25,000 renown. Um, but you can see she even marked it with her namesake. It's got flower on it. All of her pianos come with that, from what I understand. The keys themselves are just different books, yellows and blues, I think. It's an amazing work. Very, very privileged to have allowed, had her donate the set for that for the prizes. I was very pleased to be able to offer that. And then Bones put together, what did you call it? The the bass banjo. I think it looks pretty good. Myself, I don't think I would have come up with anything any better, especially given the pieces that we want. Because you want those curves, but we don't have any flat pieces that really work very well with that. Unless, like I say, you were to go with like maybe the colorful window, the bottom of that. But it looks to be 2x4s for the arm, um, metal-edged blocks or 2x4s for the little bit at the end. Um, Domes or cylinders for the body of it. If you really wanted to get detailed, you could probably add chains or sparking wires for like the little strings or whatever. But I really like that. I hope you don't get rid of it. It looks like the bastard child of a bass and a banjo. Well, you know. Of course, the stage curtains are just a combination of the open red ones and the closed white ones. And then that leads us to the backstage area where the performers prepare. It's also a great place for the plushie collection on the shelf here. Again, a lot of these pieces are from that exotic collection. I love the little, like the actors' makeup seats here. It's a little bright to look at, especially compared to the rest of the plot. It's always dark and gloomy. Um, but basically, I think it's, yeah, the orange yellow sconce for some of the lights. The rest of them are the tall files, the bottoms of those, just surrounding a window with a 2x4 as the bottom tray. The medical tables for that, and then you've got different things. Maybe this is one of those little cases with the powder puff or something, perfume bottles, uh, little jewelry boxes maybe. This would be a good place to try and put in like some brushes and combs or little hair barrettes or something. I've seen a few people throw in little tiny details like that, but again, with the crunch of the decor count being so limited, that's not always possible to get that detailed everywhere. You kind of have to pick and choose where you do it. Of course, the beaded curtain kind of thing is just a bunch of the hanging chains. Those chains have absolutely no collision whatsoever, so it makes it perfect for kind of obscuring an entrance, but letting people know that, hey, there's something back there. And last but not least is the upstairs office. You can see there's another, let me just go to this area first. This little bit is just multiple cylinders or domes being used to make that nice little staircase with 2x4s leading up. Notice the railing here is looks like 2 pillars with just another hanging chain. Again, because there's, whoops, I mean to sit there. Because there's no collision, if there was enough space between the pillars, you would just walk right through. It wouldn't actually restrain you from walking off the edge. But because Bones chose to space the pillars close enough, it behaves that way. So it's kind of misleading. Over here, again, we have the same little setup as downstairs, the granite pillar and the two pillows and such for the bench here. And then if we go this side, you'll see that there's no chains. And I think that's basically just they ran out of space. It's one of those things that, you know, there's no going around it. But you come into the head honcho's office, got all his notes and things on the wall. But he also has a billiards table for when he gets bored. Slow night at the speakeasy. There's these are the spades. Just push down so you don't see the shovel part for the cube sticks. This little band here, that's the top of the firewood stack, and then a metal-edged block for the base there. For the pool table itself, it looks to be a lot of domes and curved tubes, 2x4s for a lot of the trim. It looks like a giant travel poster for the base of it. Cellar entrance there. Files for the balls, and then mops for these little sticks in the middle. For the holes, the pockets, it looks like vent tanks, the bottoms of those. We've seen a lot of versions of like billiards and pool tables and such. Always fun to see different takes on it. I really like this one. From the office of Bugsy Malone. Well, there you go. You got the Tommy gun and so that, I hope I covered it all. Or in bed for 40 omnibits. Oh, is it part of the Orin decor pack? I know there's like that one that has, I don't know if it's the Draken, no, it's the Granite pack, I think, that has one of those newer posters that you can't get by obtaining the travel keys. All right, so that is all of New Haven on Lauren Bacall, aka Bones.